Welcome to Sleepless Readings. Tonight we'll be reading a festive tale called How I Ruined Christmas for the Entire World.
Santa isn't real. I'm not trying to ruin anyone's holiday. It isn't that I don't believe. I do. Well, I did. It's just, I killed Santa Claus. When I was a boy, he came to visit me and I destroyed him, along with the hopes and dreams of millions of little children all across the world. I haven't been able to live it down for the 20 years since it happened. I'm hoping that if you see my side of things, you'll understand why I did what I had to do. It was Christmas Eve. I was 6 at the time, and my mom was getting ready to put me to bed. We lived in a single-floor ranch, so bed was really just down the hall. But my room had a perfect view of the tree. She didn't know it, but I was planning on catching Santa that year.
"Good night, sweetie,"
she said to me, unassuming.
"Night, Mom. Try to fall asleep fast, okay? You don't want Santa to skip our house because you're still up."
The phone rang. I remember my mom looking confused. After my dad passed away, my family distanced themselves from us because she chose not to remarry. "He needs a strong male figure in his life to teach him how to be a man," they would say at family gatherings when the topic would inevitably come up. Eventually, after a few years of this, my mom simply stopped humoring them. Stopped showing up to parties, stopped attending family functions, we switched churches, everything. The downside to that, though, was that we were isolated on every holiday. My grandma would send us a Christmas card with a $20 bill in it for me, but that was the only sort of contact we had with them. Hearing the phone ringing on Christmas Eve, or any holiday, simply wasn't something that happened. She had a puzzled look.
"Go to sleep, honey. I'll see you in the morning after Santa gets here."
She walked out of my room and picked up the phone in the hallway. I could still kind of hear her, despite her stretching the cord as far as it would go away from my door.
"What do you mean?"
Mom sounded a little frazzled. Silence.
No. What? No. Just no.
She was crying a little.
What about the order? That should mean something.
Mom's voice got a lot quieter after that, and I couldn't make out anything else. In her haste, however, she forgot to close my door all the way, and in perfect view from the gap in my door, the Christmas tree. I did fall asleep, as much as I tried to stay awake, but I was awoken by a tapping noise. I shook myself up and looked around my dark bedroom. It sounded like fingers rhythmically hitting the countertop, pinky to index. I looked around to my desk and bookcase, but I didn't see my mom there or anything. The tapping continued, growing ever so slightly faster as I sat up in my bed in a daze. I wasn't scared, at least I don't recall ever feeling like it. There was the small, naive part of me that began to wonder if it was Santa or one of his elves testing me to see if I was really sleeping. Once that thought hit me, I became ecstatic. I plunged myself back down onto the mattress and covered my entire body with the comforter. After a moment, I let my face out in a little hole because it was getting a little too stuffy. I opened my eyes to look out the window, and that's when I saw it. A hand tapping on the glass.
"It's an elf,"
I excitedly whispered aloud. The hand was thin, with long fingers and long fingernails. There was a shiny bracelet around the wrist, too. It had to be an elf. I covered my eyes with the blanket again and drifted off into a light sleep. A crashing noise woke me up again. I shot up and heard footsteps on the roof. I ran out to the living room and hid behind the recliner. This was my opportunity to catch Santa, and I had to take it. The spot was in perfect view of the fireplace and still gave me plenty of cover so Santa couldn't possibly see me until it was too late. The footsteps walked closer and closer to the front of the house and soon stopped just above me. I heard a new set of footprints lightly after those stopped. Mom. If she found me, I would be in so much trouble. I got scared then for the first time that night. I panicked. I couldn't let her find me. That would be the end of my Christmas cheer for sure. If she went to check on me in the bedroom and saw that I wasn't there, I would be done for too. I had to come out of hiding. The jig was up. I walked out from my hiding spot as my mom walked into the living room.
"I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't think you were gonna wake up."
She held up a finger. She was on the phone, listening to someone talking.
Yes,
She whispered.
right now.
It was clear she was holding back her excitement.
I think he's gonna try and come down the chimney. What should I do?
Mom had tears in her eyes. She waved at me to go back to my room.
Okay, yes, I'll do that. Thank you.
She walked away and hung up the phone. I stood there waiting for the verbal lashing I was going to get when she walked back in.
Honey, what are you doing?
She asked me.
I wanted to catch Santa Claus.
I was holding back tears.
Oh, it's all right. Listen, why don't...
She stopped to look at the fireplace. There was a bunch of dirt and rock falling down from the flue onto the floor. My mom ran over to the fireplace and slammed the metal gate shut and locked it. I ran over to her in protest.
Stop!
I had tears falling now.
It's Santa! Go sit in the chair, now!
She pushed me off of her. But my naive 6-year-old self wasn't gonna let her ruin Christmas. I started pulling at her.
Go sit down!
She commanded to no avail.
Yeah, listen to your mother.
A smoky voice chimed in. There was a man's head peeking out from the chimney. Santa! My mom gasped and fell back onto her bottom, and I froze in place, crying.
Santa, I'm sorry I'm still up. You're not gonna give me presents, are you?
I sobbed. Santa pulled at his thin, soot-stained beard.
Oh, of course I will, son. I just need you to let me inside. How about opening up this gate for me?
I looked towards my mom, who was shaking her head from side to side.
Don't, Mikey.
I was mad. Who was she to decide whether or not to let Santa in? I made a move towards the latch when I felt my mom's hand pull me back.
Stop!
I yelled at her.
I want my presents! This isn't Santa,
She said with authority.
Listen to me, I'm your mother.
I backed away. Santa became angry when he saw me stop. The twinkle in his eyes were replaced by a fiery rage.
Let me in!
He screamed. He then reached a single hand out from the flue and began yanking at the gate in front of him. His long fingers worked through the space between the metal easily, but his metal bracelet kept clanking against the bars, making a horrible scratching.
Mikey,
My mom said in a shaking voice.
turn on the fireplace. No!
I objected.
Santa will get hurt and then he'll leave. Mikey, I love you. You have to do this if you ever want to have Christmas again. You have to trust me.
She was crying. On the inside, I knew something was wrong. Santa wasn't an angry person, and my mom would never have me do something bad. I walked over and turned on the knob for the gas.
Mikey,
Santa shouted.
son, please don't do this.
I'm really sorry, Santa.
I said as I cried.
I have to listen to my mom so I can be on the nice list next year.
I pushed the ignition button and the flames roared up from under Santa Claus.
Go to your room.
My mom ordered. I did. Santa was letting out screams like I had never heard before. It hurt my ears. It scared me. But then they stopped. The police came and asked my mom and I a bunch of questions. They weren't happy with me that I kept calling the man from the chimney Santa. They tried explaining to me that the man's name was Michael and that he was a bad man and that I did the right thing. After that night, I spent years in therapy. Nothing helped me forget. Not the sessions, the drugs, or the presents from Santa that were under the tree every year. I knew they were fake. I killed Santa. I killed him and stole presents from billions of children across the world. Now they all get fake presents from Santa, wrapped up by their parents and labeled with a forged signature. I can't live with that guilt anymore. I'm sorry. I'm truly, truly sorry.
Thank you for listening. That was How I Ruined Christmas for the Entire World.
Don't forget to like the video, it does help to boost the channel.
There's new stories every Sunday.
Not to mention the shorts on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So subscribe.
And ring the bell.
Thanks, guys. And as always, stay sleepless.